Hi everybody, and welcome back to Connect with Pets. My name is Megan, and today we are going to be making no sewing fleece bed blankets for our cat friends. Now I'd like to introduce you to my friend.
This is my feline friend Nyla, who was staying at EHS until she found a new home. To make her a new bed, I first needed to see how big she was laying down. When making your pet bed, be sure to add an extra 10 centimeters or 4 inches to the entire outside edge of your fabric square or rectangle, and you'll see why soon.
So, first things first, you want to cut out 2 squares, rectangles, whatever kind of shape that you want, that are approximately the same size, but you want to make sure they're a little bit bigger than the bed size that you're looking for, because we're actually going to tie the 2 together to create the bed. So I'm going to cut out 2 squares that are approximately the same size, or rectangles. Doesn't have to be a perfect shape, but 2 that are approximately the same size. Okay, now you're going to take one of your squares, and where you're going to be making little slits all the way around the outside of the square. You're actually going to do this for both squares, but we're just going to start with one because this is a pretty thick blanket, so it's hard to cut in. Now, your slits are going to be about the length of 1 finger in and about the width of 1 finger wide. About. Doesn't have to be perfect, but that's about what you're aiming for. So think length of 1 finger in and width of 1 finger apart. So length of 1 finger in, I'm just going to cut the little slit here. Okay, that's about 1 finger or so. And then the width of 1 finger apart. There we go. So you're going to have something that looks about like this. Now we have to do it for all 4 sides of each of our squares. Let's get going. That was a lot of cutting. Now we get to do it again with the other one. Okay, so I now have my 2 squares cut, and they've got all of their tassels around on the outside, okay? Now, there's a few options that we can go from here. My blanket is pretty thick and pretty fuzzy on its own, so I'm gonna leave my blanket as is. If you're gonna be supervising your pet and you wanna maybe put some other fleece blanket inside or some stuffing of some sort, you are more than welcome to put some stuffing in, but make sure as soon as you're putting things inside, if it's possible that the animal can tear it and open it up, we wanna make sure that we're supervising that so they can't swallow anything. But something as simple as putting another blanket inside is also a great way to add a little bit more padding. But for me, I'm just gonna leave it as is because it's pretty thick and fluffy on its own. So now, you're just gonna start with your corners, and you're gonna take 2 tassels that line up with each other approximately, and you are going to tie them together, like so. Now, if you can do a double knot is always better. And fleece blankets usually have a little bit of a stretch to them, so it makes it a little bit easier. So you are going to tie double knots all the way around until all of the tassels have been tied. Let's get started. Okay, and there we go. Now you'll notice some of them, when they're pulled a little tight, it'll almost like curl up a little bit, and it just makes like more of a bed shape. That's okay, because then these are just edges that they can curl up and get cozy in. But there you have it, a nice little bed for your cat friends. There we go. Now let's go and see what Nyla thinks.
Kneading is a natural way that cats appear to be relaxing themselves and soothing themselves before they drift off into sleep.
Might take her some time to get used to, but she's looking pretty cozy to me. And now it's time for a cat nap. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. Please make sure to click and subscribe and like the video so that you'll get more content coming to you shortly. Have a great day.